Phil Jackson appears to be on his way out soon, as in Wednesday morning in New York as president of the Knicks. Our Ramona Shelburne with this tweet: Knicks and President Phil Jackson expected to announce that they're parting ways early Wednesday morning. That was Ramona's tweet. And joining us now on the phone is Ramona Shelburne. And Ramona, late Tuesday night, clarity expected in the Knicks situation. Early Wednesday morning, for the sake of clarity, what do you know?
Well, look, I think this all accelerated very quickly on Tuesday, and a lot of these conversations went deep into the night to the point where, I think it sort of became clear what was going to happen here. And, Adrian Wojnarowski from The Vertical had a report out saying that they were that James Dolan had been having conversations and thinking about Phil Jackson's future, and obviously once one report or any whiff of that gets out, everything else sort of falls into place, right, as you're a reporter. But I think this all happened, quite frankly, very quickly, late Tuesday afternoon and into the evening in New York.
Why now?
Well, look, this week the Knicks sort of had a decision to make, and that was whether or not to buy out Carmelo Anthony. And the idea, Mark Stein reported this earlier today, that Carmelo Anthony had asked the Knicks if they would buy him out, and the idea was that he would get a buyout and go to a contender, presumably Cleveland. And the Knicks are absolutely not going to do that. He has 2 years remaining on his contract, and that no trade clause that we obviously we've been talking about for quite some time. And so there's no end to the stalemate. Like, if you're not going to buy him out, and there's no way he will agree to a trade, that I just think Phil Jackson and the Knicks could not see a future where all of them were back in that sort of toxic triangle we've been in for the past year. At the start of next year, it was affecting the entire team. It was affecting the entire organization. It was affecting Kristaps Porzingis and the conversations there. I mean, my understanding is that the situation with Carmelo Anthony sort of, affected that entire locker room and Phil's ability to lead them in the way that he wanted to, in the direction he wanted to. And I think there came a point where everybody involved just kind of realized if Phil is not going to stay in this role beyond the 2 years remaining on his deal. So he had 2 years remaining. Carmelo, you had 2 years remaining. If he wasn't going to stay in that role beyond the 2 years, and I don't think he had any plans to do that, he's 71 years old right now, then I think they got to a point where you don't want to have a whole other year begin like this, with this cloud hanging over them. And at the end of the day, Carmelo had the no trade clause. Contractually speaking, he didn't have to go anywhere.